Today on the American Truck Podcast, No Man's Sky wasn't actually delayed. Pokemon Go Plus was, however, delayed. Banned Overwatch cheaters are upset that they were banned. And the HTC Vive is getting more expensive in Britain. Hello and welcome to the American Truck Podcast with Andrew C.
And Jefferson B.
The real freelance gamer.
Dr. Uber Shadow.
Oh, I didn't expect that, did you? Because I didn't. I actually totally did.
I feel like you did.
I did expect that. I was not surprised. After last week, yeah, I kind of figured.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I didn't even end up
Yeah,
watching.
you were out house hunting, and then you decided you weren't even gonna take any of the houses you hunted. So you were here. You were gone for no reason.
No, I was gone for the prospect.
Absent.
You were also gone for the
Absence
Pokemon.
inexcused.
Yeah, both had Pokestops. Let's be honest. You were gone for the Pokemon. No shame. It's all good.
Yep.
But speaking of things that we were very wrong on.
Yeah, apparently No Man's Sky wasn't actually delayed. All the people who reported on it were just misinterpreting some release data where it says that the worldwide release is the 12th, which would be 3 days after the U.S. release. So, so we were wrong. It is not delayed.
Unless you live in, the rest of the world that's not North America or Europe, in which case you will get it on the 12th.
But speaking of them, there has been some news about the fact that some guy paid supposedly like $1,300 to buy a leaked copy of that game, and then did what one would expect and started dumping spoilers on the game all over the internet. So beware.
How does that even work if there's no server online?
I don't know. I mean, they were playing the game. Supposedly, they made it to the center of the universe as well. Oh yeah. Yep.
Did they find the super special secret that's in the center of the universe?
I have no clue. I didn't really read it. Just saw that they did it. Not that I'm gonna play the game, but I am not trying to view the spoilers.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, but if you want the information, you gotta try super hard to find it because most of the videos, if not all of them, have been taken down for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons.
While that is not delayed, there is something that has been delayed that I can tell you about. Because this is clearly the delay podcast where we talk about delays of games and whatnot. This is a game accessory, of course, the Pokemon Go Plus accessory, which was to go with the Pokemon Go game. Yeah, that was supposed to come out at the end of July-ish, but as you know, it's August and it hasn't come out, so it was delayed till about September.
That's most unfortunate. Hey, I understand you want to back off a couple of miles per hour there.
Okay.
We reconvene this convoy talking about the unfortunate tragedy that is Pokemon Go accessory. I know personally that since I work in an office building, I don't readily have access to a GPS signal, and it's my understanding that this Go Plus accessory is supposed to kind of help with that situation and have some sort of verifiable step tracker.
Right.
So I know that's a bit of disappointment, but at the same time, I don't really want to be that guy walking around with a Pokeball in his lapel.
Every time I go around one of these like direct right turns, I run into the guardrail.
I just run into things. I run into everything.
Failing.
Speaking of people that have run into an unfortunate end, Overwatch. Does somebody want to take this Overwatch piece of news?
Yeah, them Overwatch cheaters. There was another ban wave of particularly targeting a lot of people using trigger bots, which causes basically you put your mouse pointer on someone's head and theoretically it automatically shoots when it's in just the right position, and so a bunch of people have been posting on the forums about being banned for that, and they've also been posting on the same forums that they're very upset at Blizzard for banning them for doing what Blizzard said that they would do.
Yeah, I'm wondering, if you didn't get it in the first round of bans, what makes you think that the second round would be any more merciful?
Or the third or the fourth.
Right,
any of the bans. I mean, we've had fleeting numbers of people be banned for cheating, and they're like, oh, but it's not even bad cheats. We're not hacking the game or anything. We're just doing. It's like, dude, you're still cheating. It's still cheating. The game,
Right.
the
Providing
ban was
for
not
yourself
against hacking the
unfair
game; it was against cheating.
Right. And to me, like, that's like exactly where I would like draw that line. Like, if you actually change the models in game, that is the point where I go, that's aesthetics. As long as it doesn't give you an edge, that does not matter. But when I can just move my mouse over your head with multiple characters that can basically one-shot you or two-shot you if I'm aiming at your head, that's something that should not exist. It should not be available to be played, and you should be kicked out of the game. Period.
Yep.
Well, and especially when you institute a zero tolerance policy, it's much less for show and it must be for go. Like, I would almost want to argue that Blizzard has backed themselves into a corner where they couldn't show mercy if they wanted to, because if just one player gets their account back after being zero tolerance banned, then this whole program goes to crap for nothing.
That's very true. Very true. Yep. And so a lot of the people who have been banned have gone on a tirade of saying that they are declaring war upon the Blizzard and that the Blizzard will pay for this injustice upon them.
Yeah,
boo-hoo on
That's
them.
funny. Go play WoW, QQ more. Like, no.
Well, do they even get to play Blizzard games anymore?
Yes.
As far as I
they
understand,
can
yes.
play anything that's not Overwatch.
Okay.
Correct.
And a lot
And,
of people are upset about the fact that they spent money on the game, and how could a company ban someone who spent so much money on the game? And all I say is follow the rules. They said don't cheat. You're cheating. So good.
Yeah,
good
it's
game.
not a. If it's a private server in, like, I don't know, any other game, that's fine. There are no private servers though, so deal with it. You bought a game based in a public server domain and idea. You're playing against other people who want to play a fair match.
Yep.
No.
I'm feeling the small voice of entitlement hit the back of my skull in a very unfamiliar way, but yeah, that's what it's sounding like to me. Where it's this, I have paid for your game, therefore you must give me service, and it's like Blizzard doesn't owe them anything.
Right.
Like, these players, in fact, actually kind of like they need to play by the rules, and if they don't, well, the zero tolerance policy, which they read and agreed to, like that's the thing, like that accept button, they sign it. Digitally.
They don't technically own the game. They're just renting it.
Yep, that's true too. They
Actually,
technically
yeah,
own
that's true.
They own the right to play it. And here's the other thing. I would agree with them on one condition. If they have never used that mod or any form of cheat in a normal match and only ever used it in a custom match, that is the point where I would go, maybe. Maybe that's the point where but you have to prove it on your end. If they detect that you have the ability to use one of these systems to make it so you can have an easier time, they're going to remove it. They're going to just flat out, they're going to whitewash the whole thing. They don't care.
Yep.
And that's
Maybe.
fair. I agree with that. But if you can prove that you've never, ever used that outside of custom matches for whatever reason, then maybe I could see your case. But even then, it breaks their TOS. Deal with it.
It does go back. It harkens back to the whole zero tolerance policy. Zero tolerance means zero tolerance.
Right.
So I like, you can't even make an exception because it breaks the very definition of a zero tolerance policy. Sad but true. I can't help you there. I have zero sympathy for somebody who would willingly, go against the game in light of other people who have, been likewise banned previously. Like, it's not worth it that much.
Right. So that's the thing with lots of bans, and it's not the end. Clearly, this is constant. There's not going to be any end to the ban sprees in this game. So, but some more Blizzard things here. World of Warcraft Legions getting, of course, a hunter class with the Legion update. And
A demon hunter.
Oh yeah, specifically a demon hunter. Very, very true.
There is
very
a
true.
hunter already.
Very true. I don't know why I only wrote hunter. But that's going to... The character itself and the class will be available to play starting on the 9th if you pre-order
You must
the
have
game.
you must have a level 70 on that realm.
Yep.
That you plan to play it on. So if you're starting on a new server, you have to have a character that's level 70 before you can play Demon Hunter on that server. They're pulling the same thing they did with Death Knights. It is a hero class.
Indeed. And the new class also does start at level 98. So there's all that. Freelance, you gonna pick up a Legion subscription?
I'm thinking about it, Mike. I don't want to, and here's why. After all the notes they've made, they've literally made the game less sociable. Again, patch after, or just like expansion after expansion, there's less and less reasons to play with other players. So they made it so one of the things they're changing is that you can respec your class and abilities at any inn, and you are able to also transmog gear without keeping it, which is fine. I like that second change, because then you don't have to have like a stupid amount in your bank just being stuff that looks pretty. You pick up an item, as long as you've picked it up, your character can then wear it, or like change its gear to look like you're wearing it. That's fine. What I don't like is that by making it so that there's less reasons for people to go to cities, there's less reason for people to be sociable in the game.
It's very true.
And that's what I miss. I miss that part of the game. I miss playing with random people.
I have
and
to
I don't
really,
mean talking with them. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was about to fully agree with you, because even though I myself am not a WoW player, I am familiar with the concepts of social gaming and how that plays in. And I mean, yes, while looking cool is, in my opinion, one of the core tenets of World of Warcraft playing, of the World of Warcraft playstyle, I think it is equally as important. I would say it's equally one of their core tenets that they have a social game aspect. Like that LFG was originally founded by WoW players, and
Right.
if we're losing that, we're losing the fun, which makes me question, why do I pay my subscription money to a service that's no longer fun?
Right, and what's even worse for me, and this is what kills me, is they've been doing this with every single expansion, and it's like at first, and it's always in this, it's never like they're trying to do it maliciously, or they're trying to get rid of that, or they're trying to make it so people don't have to have friends to play the game, and they don't have to make friends. No, it's that they're trying to advance this game, and it's just slowly leading to this. Like originally it was the LFG and LFR systems that existed, which made it so I never have to go rogue DPS LFG. I never have to type that. I never have to type to somebody. I never have to get added to a group or meet up with them and then use a summoning portal. It's like, oh, I can just insta jump in. That sounds awesome. But you lose communications now. You hit the LFG button, you never talk to anybody, you just assume everyone knows their roles, you roll through the dungeon, which is easy now. It's no longer difficult, which means you don't have to plan or have strategy. You just roll through it, and then at the end you just go, "Cool, thanks," and that's it. It used to be that, and then this is like the hipster old man me talking, but I'm gonna just have this moment. It used to be, if I found someone who's a really good healer or a really good tank, I added them to my friends list, especially if they were decent people, because I want to play with you again. I want to work with you to get the more difficult parts of this game done correctly. I still play with some of those people and talk to them once in a while. Not a lot. I got like 2 now, but that's still a thing.
Right. It's a matter of the fact that Remnant, you still formed those social bonds over, something as simple as standing out in the middle of a street shouting that you were looking for group.
Right. Or joining a guild because you were serious about doing and that still exists to an extent. The guild system still exists, and if you really want to get into the hardcore stuff, like beating the most difficult bosses and doing it as like first in the world, yeah, you still have to do that social aspect. But it allowed people who were casual players to still be sociable, but it kind of forced them into it. But I don't find that to be a bad thing, because now no one wants to be sociable. Message a random person on WoW and they're just never going to message you back, or they're going to block you, or there's no more there's no reason to interact with people. And this, making it so you don't have to be in cities for a lot of things now. Like, you don't necessarily need to be in a city to ever use your bank or anything because you have a barracks. It just feels like it's removing more and more of the social aspect of the game.
Yeah, go ahead and hole yourself up in your barracks and never leave.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, cool. Why would you? Oh, well, I can go here. I can go be social. Dude, I'm playing WoW. Come on. I'm not gonna. It's not how that works. We need an ulterior motive.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with that, of course, and then You'll probably hear in future weeks as the release comes out, further thoughts about it. But for now, let's see, the ukulele backers got their fancy toy box / sandbox thing this week or ish.
Nice.
This weekish. So if you back that game, make sure you check in your email for your sandbox key, and you'll be able to go and play around with that. And there's 2 different levels of it depending on what you backed.
And just to clarify for people who don't necessarily understand what we're talking about here, this is the Kickstarter backer award that Ukulele provided, where basically you get to run around, you get to play with the engine, you get to test things out. It makes being a game tester fun, in my opinion. Just kind of stepping back and watching as everything kind of collides and shuffles around, and really that's valuable data that's going to help refine this engine if any of that gets sent back to HQ.
Yep, and it gives the backers a chance to play with the physics and everything of how the game will inevitably
as well as shaders and materials and aesthetic. You get kind of a good feel for how things are going to look, which is awesome. As I run into an X wall,
that is very unfortunate, running into an X wall.
That's okay, because I ran into an X wall. You don't suffer damage, but it's still a little bit embarrassing.
This is very true. I usually end up slowing down and then hitting something else as well, and then I take some damage.
Yeah. But I guess to kind of bring things home, do we want to talk about something else that's really embarrassing?
Yeah, like the fact that the price of the HTC Vive has gone up because of Brexit.
Exactly. Now, okay, I have to question, do we know that this is directly tied to Brexit?
Well, the price increase is due to the fact that the British pound has decreased in price. So in order to have it be the same cost in all markets, they have to increase the price to make the same money.
Gotcha. So it basically it requires more money because the money has less value right now.
Right, and the money has less value currently due to Brexit.
Gotcha. Now maybe I'm confused, but have we seen this with other products other than just HTC?
I think this is the first one that I've seen from this.
Because we also tend to operate in the tech and gaming world, so.
Right, exactly.
Only
and
so
it
much
is
can
one
be
of those
said there.
things, you usually see these type price adjustments in larger expense products. So
because it's a bigger jump at that point.
Right, exactly. Like it's a $70.
This really is only
a £70 increase. But it is an unfortunate fact here, and so we have had a little while here to keep track of the Vault Tech Workshop update for Fallout 4. Has anyone got some thoughts about it? 2 people here own that game.
It sucks.
Yep. 3 out of 10. Let me put it this way: if their final DLC isn't actually fantastic,
they focus way too much on the workshop.
Way too much on workshop. Way too much on settlements. Not enough on actual story, gameplay, new areas, locations, and weapons. And
I have noticed this.
Go
ahead.
No, please.
Okay, I was going to say, I noticed this, recently I read an article, I forget where it was from, but basically it was stating that the players of Fallout 4 more often than not played Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, etc. And as a result, they're accustomed to this, grand RPG adventure where your choices have consequences and where things change and the world itself is evolving and living, and it's this RPG story. And I think what we got with Fallout 4 was a very solid action RPG, like a very solid action game with a heavy crafting element.
And a bit of an RPG element, but not much. I would actually agree with that, and it even echoes back even more so to the people who have been fans and playing this series since Fallout 1 are very much RPG people first and foremost, followed by this, like, the gameplay that exists now and the action that's based in it now as an extra. And to me, that's what bothers me about this game. What even bothers me more is they can totally stick to action, and I'm cool with that. That's fine. But they're only releasing 2 new areas. Far Harbor and this circus, the Nuka World. That's it. There's no, and like, the previous games, let me see, what did Fallout 3 have? 5 new areas? One of them is a simulation, so you can count that if you want. I count it because you get to run around in it. and it's huge. It's not like, oh look, it's the size of this vault. No, it's massive. And like, and then you had 5 there, and you had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 in New Vegas, and all 5 are new areas in New Vegas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. And so it's like, well, all right. When me and Mike here, we saw that, oh, there's a season pass. Of course we're gonna pick it up. You're telling me I'm getting 5 new areas with new weapons, new characters, and new stories to follow. Absolutely. Here's $6 each. A little greedy on my part, but hell yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah.
And what we ended up getting was, we got a couple new characters, right? Because we get, like, what? We have to do quests for some of these, like the Autonomatron and the Vault one. We meet 2 new characters, really, but it's not even close to the same. It's not a new environment. You're not exploring. That doesn't help.
Are we sure they're not gonna play? Oh, that was just
season 1. Oh, I'm ready for it. Because this is not unfamiliar. Like, we saw this with Borderlands 2. Where it was Season 1 and a Season 2 pass. And there was no reason to get the Season 2 pass. Just get the Season 1 pass, ignore Season 2, except for I think maybe Tiny Tina was in Season 2, just buy it on its own. But like, but it's just like, there's no way they didn't know that people expected that. And I think the workshop stuff is cool, but it's also overwhelming. Like, there's also a point where you're like, dude, there's too much to build. Like, I'd rather just have a story and a place to explore.
And you have a limited workspace too. Yeah,
and you have a limited amount you can work on each settlement. And like, I feel like they missed the point. And then like, on top of that, like, and this is a long time coming. The game has very little replayability. A lot of people may argue that, but it really does. There's not a whole, like, it just feels like it has the Fallout 3's problem, at least in my opinion, where it feels so linear that it's like, I don't want to replay this game. I don't want to start it again. What, so I can choose a different side to be on? That doesn't actually sound fun. Like, it sounds interesting a little. I did it. I played through it twice. The second playthrough I've not retouched. I played through Fallout New Vegas 4 times. I played through Fallout 3 3 times. And this one I'm going, oh, 2 and done. It's just it feels like it lost the point. Slash rant.
Alright, it's a very very necessary slash rant there. This game, and you know, it's good to be able to have an opinion on a game like this, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I actually hope they put out a season 2. If they put out a season 2, and I will not buy it. I will wait and see what they do, and I hope they go, all right, here's season 2, here's 4 new areas. I will happily
2 new areas, so we can just get the 4.
Or 2. I'll take 2. But like, even if they did 4 more, just to make up for it, because I feel like we're not the only ones here. Jump on any forum, and you're gonna get the same kind of opinion. And if it's like all I need is like 2 or 4, they could do 4, and instead of paying $30 for it, I'll wait. I will wait until they either announce it, and then I can't buy it anymore, and I will pay $60 for 4 more maps. I will pay 15 each because they are good. Even Far Harbor, which was mediocre, was still good. It was better than at least the expansions we're getting in the game currently. And that's what I hope that they realize and they know how to, like, I don't know, I hope they are able to rework this system and make it work for either their next game or make it work for the current one.
And if they don't, then people are going to be definitely looking at Bethesda differently when they come out with their next title.
Yeah, absolutely, myself included.
Yep, so, well, on that bombshell, it is time to end. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the American Truck Podcast with a lot of ranting about different topics, and that's our specialty here at r/rant/rant. But if you do like this video, make sure you hit that like button and perhaps hit the subscribe button where you can get these weekly ranting videos right to your sub box every week. We will see you guys next week.
Funk.